Coming up next is a conversation with Wilder Stubbs, a core team member of Algogems. Algogems is a premier NFT marketplace on the Algorand blockchain. Typically, I post these conversations as soon as they happen. However, we had some connection issues, so I wanted to edit a little bit out. So please bear with us for any bit of sound issues that might have arisen. I did try my best to edit those out of this coming conversation. So hopefully I did that to the best of my ability and the conversation is still great for you to enjoy. On that note, let's jump right into my conversation with Wilder.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Is it morning where you are?
It's morning where I am, yeah.
Awesome. Well, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you as well.
Of course, of course. Could we just start off with a brief introduction of who you are and how you got into the space and how you started working with Algogems?
Yeah, so myself, I got into crypto first through proof of work mining. That's what got me interested. It was right around GameStop was my real when I really got into it. I knew about crypto back in 2017, working on a cooking line, joking around about Doge and things like that. So that was when I really got into it, was maybe 2020, something around there. And I really liked the idea about having custody and control over your currency and the monetary system. And as I went down the rabbit hole of chasing the best technology and maybe just not like I like the initial idea of Bitcoin, but as I chased that idea, I came into a Lex Friedman podcast with Silvio McCauley.
Yep.
Heard him talk about Algorand, and I was inspired and very interested from that point forward. I got involved with Yieldly's IDO initially. That's how I got into the ecosystem, and once I experienced my first tiny man swap, I never went back to Binance. I never went back to Ethereum. I was happy to be on Algorand. So that was how I got to Algorand. How I got to Algogems specifically was I started off as a very active community member in the Algogems Telegram at the time. And as I learned more about NFTs, learned more about digital ownership, saw the value and it feels like endless use cases for NFTs. I got inspired once again, but I felt comfortable and confident enough where I wanted to take that leap and start putting some hours in and get involved. And I took a jump from what I'll call a community manager, an unofficial community manager, into the role of CMO. And great decision. I'm very happy. I love what I do, and it's been excellent.
Does that mean you're no longer on the cooking line?
I am no longer on the cooking line. I did culinary school and everything. I used to cook downtown Toronto. The biggest place I worked was a Cactus Club Cafe in downtown Toronto. But the line I was in charge of, we had maybe six to eight cooks under me, and we did roughly like a 250 seat dining area. Got to cook for some celebrities. Got to do NBA All-Star Week and those types of things. So wow. I love the kitchen, but it was not you put a lot of time in for little rewards.
Yeah, I actually do totally understand. Before I became a realtor, most of my work career has been in the kitchen. Plenty of restaurants, and then before becoming a realtor, I was working in a kitchen at a hospital and a nursing home as well. So I do totally understand how it goes. It can be grueling there. But let's transition to what is Algogems. I know it's one of the premier NFT marketplaces on Algorand, but what sets it apart from all of the other great NFT marketplaces that exist?
Yeah, so I think if we talked 3 months ago, I wouldn't be able to say we were one of the largest. And now we've kind of comfortably found a third place spot, is what I'll call it. Rand Gallery being number one, AlgoX NFT being the second largest by volume. But where Algogems is different, or differentiating features, is first of all, we have a token. I know that can be a turnoff to some people, but we put it to great use and it has good utility. It's for our governance and it's for our DAO. And the big thing that makes Algogems different is that our content moderation, our banning, our spotlighting, it's all handled by that DAO. And that dramatically changes what our marketplace will look like compared to other marketplaces where it might be individuals or it's a private process where people are getting verified. This is very much like a jury or the audience following like the audience's right approach. They define what's verified on Algogems and they define what's banned on Algogems.
So yeah, just to pick up, I guess, where we left off, I think I was asking about the GEMS token, how the governance was structured, and if there have been any governance votes yet.
Yeah, it's structured as one gem is one vote. It's similar, or it's inspired, if you will, by the Algorand Foundation governance. So snapshot staking, you commit at the beginning of the period. There's a 2-week period to commit. So all this is very similar to the foundation. If you fall below your committed amount, you're knocked out. Those types of rules. The voting happens with like a yay or nay, thumbs up and thumbs down kind of thing, where you either approve of the request or deny it. That's for verifications, bans, and spotlights. And outside of that, for what I'll call larger changes or things that are outside of moderation and curation, we have what we're calling right now big votes, but that's very similar to the foundation. Right now, since the 15th, governors have been voting on what the fee schedule will be for Algogems. So they have 3 options right now. It's 2.5% across all sales, no matter what. Option B is no fees on the first 100 algo volume of the month. After your first 100 algo volume or equivalent, if you sell in USDC or other tokens, right? 100 algo volume. After that, there will be a 2.5% fee. Or, and this is by creator. And the third option would be after 100 algo volume, it's 2.5% if it's a primary sale. So the NFT is coming from the person who made it, and a 2% fee if it's for resale. So they are similar options, but the choices between those 3 options will have impact.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And where do the fees go once they're collected? Is it into like an Algogems treasury of sorts, or?
Great question. The fees actually are at the beginning of the period until we sort of reach our cap for the period. This cap, it's 250,000 gems. We provided 200,000 gems as a base reward, and all the fees collected by the marketplace are going to be converted into gems on the largest LP, which is Tiny Man. Thank you, Borderless. And we'll convert all of those up to 50,000. So there's up to 250K gems reward for our governors. Any fees collected after that go to the team.
Okay, that's awesome. And you mentioned Borderless. Are they a large LP provider for the GEMS token?
Yeah, they've been a great support throughout the whole project since its inception, and they do provide, I'd say, 85 to 90% of the liquidity there. The team provides roughly 10% of that right now, but we'll definitely be looking as a team to transfer some of that LP to Pact. I don't know if I've mentioned that publicly yet, but we're actually looking at Pact for next month as another place to offer liquidity. And I don't know if you've interviewed Pact, but they have some very cool tools over there and
I
very
actually have
honed in on LP.
I have one coming up with Pact, I think, in the next coming weeks. I'm not exactly sure on the date, but that is in the works. And that's a totally reasonable place to be sending your gems because they don't have the fee structure and the really great way to earn some more rewards. Really, I noticed a lot of people have been moving their LPs over to Pact just to take benefit of those rewards over there.
Yeah, they
Plus,
do an
it's
excellent job.
Yeah, plus it's a great DEX. I mean, the UI is phenomenal anyway. But that being said, let's talk a little bit about the roadmap. What does Algogems have going on in the future? What's coming up next?
Yeah, so I have more of a teaser for this. I can't give you full information on it, but if you go to our about page, right now there's a very sparse roadmap. But on that, for this quarter, there's 2 things we're trying to achieve. Excellent. We need to get quarter 2 highlighted, but what we're going to be doing is the exclusive NFT drops, which I see is now on quarter 1. That exclusivity, we had private sales in Q1, but what we are going to be doing for Q2 is having a unique Algogems utility NFT series. I can't right now get into too much of the specifics for what that what the exact numbers of the utility will be, but what I can say is um, what is generated from the sales of that NFT will be shared between the creator, the and the creator and Algogems, but the utility of the NFT itself will not impact the value of a gem or gems. We're very conscious about that, and the types of utility that it will offer will be um, things like giving more votes in governance, a very small percentage multiplier to gems you already have, things like when there's royalties, distributing half of the royalties back to the holders of the token, whether that's once a month or the type of idea where you can hold an NFT and it will always generate you some form of a return, even if it just sits in your wallet. So I wish I could give you a little more than just that, but that's a very that's a very fair tease of what we have planned for an NFT drop, and expect to see that in June. To if you could do me the favor of pulling up that Q2, I can just go right down that list and talk about all the other ones briefly.
Sure, sure. It's coming in a little staticky again, so hopefully we don't lose you. But here is Q2. We've got Algogems, market analytics, artist direct messaging, which sounds interesting, a notification system, and extended media support.
Yeah, so we currently have video, audio, and images, GIFs. We will be adding PDFs, and at that point, we'll just be looking for community requests on file formats they'd like supported. Our objective is we provide something that's lossless and then something that is a compressible file format, depending on how someone wants to upload their content. But audio, video, images, and any NFT you would like to upload, Algogems will be there to support. The only thing that's going to be added in Q2 will be PDFs at this point. Please reach out if you can think of other formats that would add value to Algogems.
That's awesome. And I do want to ask about something on Q3, even though, we're not that far. The delivery for physical artworks. Now, what does that entail? What does that mean?
So this is, we're currently working, the first iteration of this will be most likely collaborative with Crescendo. So Crescendo already offers the ability to purchase merchandise for brands of NFT projects on T-shirts. That's happening in this quarter with the Crescendo shop. But the real idea with this and the real plan for this is offering people the ability to have their NFT printed on a canvas, displayed in metal, put on whatever you would like. There's a lot of partners that we're trying to collaborate to do this with. That's our first objective. We always try to collaborate with an already existing project if we can. And so far, there's lots of projects that are happy to accommodate. Audrin at Paris Blockchain met a project called Solid NFTs. And what they do is they take an NFT and they actually print it onto metal and give it like a reflective and a very interesting way to view it. It will have color and everything, but I don't know the term. I don't think iridescence is the right term. It's reflective, but it doesn't take away from the artwork. It just kind of catches your eye, and the light can change how it interacts. Whether your room is bright or dim, it adds an extra dimension to the artwork.
Yeah, the only reason I actually ask is because I have a buddy of mine that, makes fantastic physical artwork, and I've been trying to get him into the NFT space. Here's actually a couple of examples of some of the work he makes. It's mostly jewelry, but he does want to start making NFTs that pair with his artwork. So, make a sale of an NFT, but also send the physical artwork as well. So, I was actually curious if, that could help with that solution, or be a part of that solution by any chance.
So that is the exact feature that we will have, or that Crescendo wants with their shop on Algogems. Like, part of the integration of Crescendo into Algogems is them being able to, like you said, you purchase an NFT, the NFT comes with a T-shirt. If you purchase, it's both together. There's a digital element and a physical element in the same purchase. So that will definitely be coming. At the beginning, it'll be a feature exclusive for Crescendo in their shop. As time goes on, that will be available and what I'll call a self-serve feature. I didn't mention this earlier in our call, but one way I think Algogems differentiates itself as well is it's very much a self-serve marketplace. Like we'll give you the tools and you can set up your own profile. And I know other marketplaces do a great job of being more of hands-on, and they'll set up all your profile for you type of approach. So I think that's one other differentiation.
Awesome. And we've got John tuning in. Hello to John. Does Algogems plan on integrating NFTs?
Oh, yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. John's been reaching out to me. John's an Algogems user. John's like awesome guy, and the dev chat actually got set up last night to get NFTs, not only being able to be represented as a profile, but potentially the ability for secondary sales of NFTs, if that's possible. We're still getting into the dev of it, but 110% NFTs, and they will be integrated completely with Algogems.
Awesome. Awesome. Good to hear. And for anyone tuning in, if you have any questions for either of us, just let us know down in the chat. Is there anything that I haven't asked yet that you'd like to bring to the attention of my audience?
Well, if I'm talking to the audience, I'd like to thank them again for their patience. But as far as what I'd like to talk about with Algogems is what we are offering that users might not, because it's more technical, users might not see the differences between multiple platforms. But one thing that Algogems does great, which I know we're a leader in, is developing TL5 or smart contracts on Algogems. Whether it's a sale, an auction, a shuffle, the user gets to generate their own application. They'll load it with their own NFTs, and they're able to have control over their NFT locker, essentially. That's very different from other processes where it might be it's sort of generated and multiple people have access to that. We have a very trustless process at Algogems, which we're quite proud of. And I know on the user side of it, there has been interactions where people have seen, for example, you can see your algo be returned on Algo Explorer, but it's not being displayed in ParaWallet or My Algo Wallet. I just want, if the community's out there, if gem users are out there, we're definitely working on having ParaWallet and My Algo Wallet display smart contract interactions. And we're doing our best to ensure we provide what we consider a trustless and that perspective of you don't need to trust Algogems, just trust yourself and trust your own application. We're really trying to be that. We understand we can say that and people aren't going to come in and audit the code on us. So like there's at a certain point you're trusting that we are developing honestly, but I will say that's a very strong design goal. We're doing our best to be something trustless.
Awesome, awesome. And it is a little staticky again, so if I have wrapped up most of my questions, so if we don't have any more pouring in, we might as well just wrap up there.
Awesome. I would also like to say I'm not working for my primary office, if you will,
it's okay.
my primary spot. So in the future, I would love to be able to come back on and maybe go in a little bit deeper. If people have questions they want to leave in comments, I could definitely answer those on a next interview. And thanks for being here, everybody.
Of course, and you're always welcome back on. And feel free to, of course, I'd imagine, reach out to Wilder here on Twitter. This is his Twitter right here. I'm sure you could reach out to Algogems as well if you have any questions that we didn't get to in this episode. And hopefully we'll be back for another episode and answer all those questions again.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me. It was
not a problem. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your morning or day or night or wherever you're tuning in from.
Yeah. Take care.
Take care. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you sticking around. Sorry about a little bit of the technical difficulties, but if you like the conversation, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Got a couple more interviews coming out this week and next week, so definitely sit tight, definitely subscribe. You don't want to miss those, and I appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.